With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, trackside, once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series fires things off for round number 5 here in season number 7. Who's going to take the top spot? Who's going to claim the crown? At the super speedway, 94 laps around this 2.6 mile super speedway here at Talladega. Last week's race, finally getting the job done, working his way through the field and into victory lane for the first time. Clark Jenikin joins Christian Abante and Derek Moore as your only race winners this season. Will we see yet another repeat or a fresh face back into victory lane? Qualifying session already well and underway. Track temperature just over 105 degrees, so these drivers are going to be struggling with a little bit of grip out there behind the wheel of these old school Gen 4 machines. So as we get set to bring you that qualifying time, how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land? Race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, let's go ahead and throw some of those qualifying times over to the left-hand side of your screen. You can see sitting top on the speed charts in control of the provisional poll. Quick time, 51.49 for Daniel Jensen. The 4 for the moment will lead us to the green flag. Just over 22 drivers in the field here tonight, so it's going to be a hot and heavy battle. Will we see carnage and chaos or long green flag runs here tonight at the high banks? With the high speeds, drivers are going to be entering these corners in excess of 200 miles an hour. They're reaching 190 by themselves. Solo runs so far here tonight, and Daniel Jensen still sitting top of the speed charts with the quick time here in qualifying, 51.49. Going to keep that 4 out front with just about 60 seconds remaining on this stopwatch. Drivers are going to be hard pressed to put down those qualifying times. Jeffrey Engel going to sneak in his first time lap. Going to be hard for him to get back to the line to complete his second lap. Patrick Coro in the 91. The last driver to lay down a qualifying time. So that looks like it's going to do it. That's going to be all in your Davis Spears Designs qualifying session. And Daniel Jensen will lead us to the green flag here tonight. So as we get set for 94 laps of high speeds, we're going to take just a brief commercial break. Head trackside for your national anthem and starting a lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof
And back track side here, high above from the turn 3 blimp here tonight, looking down at this massive 2.6 mile super speedway nestled just outside of, well, I'd like to say just outside of Birmingham, about halfway between Birmingham, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. You can find the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway right across the street. The small dirt track, some great racing action earlier on in the week. If you had a chance, an opportunity to catch some of that action, it was absolutely phenomenal, great racing action across the road. But tonight, it's all about speed. Who's going to get the job done? Who can lead the final lap? It doesn't matter how many you lead. You only got to lead one. So as drivers make their way through pre-race inspection, we're going to jump a little closer to the track. What do you say? We take a look there. You can see your pole sitter. It is all-weather wood, number 4 Dodge Charger. And how good's it feel to say that, right? Dodge Charger. When's the last time you seen a Dodge out on the track in NASCAR? Just saying. So as the field awaits the signal from the boss man, the flag stand, and the pace car to begin its trip around the track, you can hear those familiar sounds beginning in the background. You know it's time to run down tonight. Starting the lineup in the Talladega Tango for the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. Starting inside row number 1, snatching the David Spears Design Pole Award, the number 4 of Daniel Jensen. Michael Overstreet, the 39, going to start just to his outside, but last week's race winner Clark Janikin and Derek Moore in row 2. Row number 3 here tonight from Talladega, Dave Gage and Alex Wiggins. Christian Abate and Cody Schultz going to roll off the starting grid in row 4. Row number 5 here tonight, the 24 of Alan Bledsoe, newcomer debut here tonight for Bledsoe. We're going to keep our eye out on that 24. He's followed by another rookie in the field. The 9 of Riley Hoots looks to make a name for himself at a track that has made many drivers a big name in racing. We'll see how Hoots goes here tonight. Inside row number 6, behind that familiar 41, is Doug Argabright. Nicholas Wing in the 99 just to his outside. Back in row number 7, the 10 of Andrew McConville and the 1 of Brendan Mathia. Mathia, one of our 3 rookies in the field here tonight. So we're going to keep ourselves a little bit busy here, keeping up with all of the action and all of the rookies here tonight. We'll see how Mathia goes from 14th, but back in row number 8, the 25 of Jay Guinness and a 38 of Zach Miller. Carlos Ramos and Brian Tarnowski making up row 9. Row number 10 here tonight. Starting inside row 10 from the 19th starting position, the 90 of Dante Howard, rounding out your top 20, the 29 of Andrew Walt. Jeffrey Engel and Ed Hauck back in row number 11, and finishing out the 23 car field behind the wheel of that KRI number 91 machine, Patrick Coro. So that's going to be it. As drivers make their way off of turn number 4, the pace car will duck away and we will get set to get underway for the first time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Long run to that restart line. You can see the Geico restart zone off in the distance. Drivers ready to roll, and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. No surprise, the field stays mostly too wide as they enter turn 3 for the first time here tonight. Few drivers dropping to the rear already. Long single file lane at the bottom of the racetrack and a turn number 4. No clear-cut advantage, but for the moment, Daniel Jensen still trying to get it done on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's gonna really get it. It's gonna be close. Michael Overstreet right there. That 39 PPG paints machine, but Daniel Jensen will lead the first lap of tonight's Talladega Tango. And we're going to see a lot of this, right? We're going to see a lot of comers and goers. We're going to see a lot of people moving, testing the runs, seeing how far they can make it up through the field. But a pretty calm, pretty tame initial start to tonight's race here to lap number 2 will go behind us as we cross the line this time around lap number 3 on the board. We'll drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver in the field here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. Looks like 4 drivers willing to test the waters of the high side for the moment here. See a little bit of gaps between some of the cars on the bottom of the racetrack, just giving themselves a nice, good buffer zone. These cars, definitely one of the ones that you gotta be super careful with the bump traffic. You can see how the front ends of these cars slightly lower than the rear of the machine in front of them, so very easy to get what drivers used to refer to as jacked up. You know, very easy to get jacked up, and what they meant by that was get those rear tires lifted up off the track, and at that point, you're pretty much at the mercy of the guy behind you. You can't really make any speed. You can't really slow down very much. You can't do much of anything. And typically we see big saves trying to happen after it does happen. For the moment, Daniel Jensen stays out front. He'll lead the first 4 laps of tonight's Talladega Tango. And right as we say that, Michael Overstreet gonna sneak by, new race leader, but just for a few feet. Overstreet will be accredited with leading that lap, but Jensen to get a slingshot his way right on back to the front. You can see the accordion effect. Definitely something we'll continue to speak about throughout the course of tonight's race. Big side draft there from the 39. Doesn't look like it's slowed the roll on the bottom of the racetrack. Your top 4 lined up on the inside have a 3-car length advantage over the 16 of Derek Moore, who's just kind of hanging out right now, biding time, and with it being so early in the race, I would expect to see a handful of these drivers just kind of chilling, making some laps, getting a good portion of tonight's Talladega Tango. Behind them, a long race, a lot of miles, a lot of laps. You get in trouble early here at Talladega, and you're going to have quite an uphill climb. Most of the field still side-by-side racing action as we work our way off of turn number 4 back through the triangle. Lap number 7 will go on the board as your pole sitter. Daniel Jensen continues to lead that inside lane, continues to be the driver on the top of the scoring pylon. And then you can see it, almost the entire field, and now still side by side. The 11 of Alex Wiggins a little disconnected from Overstreet at the front of this high lane. You see the 9 of Riley Hoots right there. Riley looks like he may want to go up to that, or I apologize, no, that's going to be the 5. That is going to be the 5 of Cody Scholl. Keeps eyeballing that outside lane, looking like he might want to jump out there and make it 3 wide, but possibly a little too early to test those waters. We'll see how they go. Looking for those rookies in the field. Highest running rookie so far here, Riley Hoots, going to sit in 7th behind the wheel of that Aarons. Number 9, you can see him right there, 4th car inside lane. Alan Blesso has dropped to 12th. Brandon Mathia in the 1. Very fast time. In happy hour. Single lap runs. Missed it a little bit in qualifying. Mathia 3 positions down from where he qualified. So a different story for all our rookies here tonight. 1 in the front, 1 mid-back, and 1 in the back. There's the side draft again, and once again Michael Overstreet trying to work that side draft, and it's actually going to pay off this time. He's going to pull that 4 back just a little bit. Wiggins unable to get to the rear to really get that outside lane moving. And Jensen will prevail off of turn 4, drag race to the line, but the 4 going to have the clear advantage on the bottom of the racetrack. Just as we say that, side draft and Overstreet. And back to the point for a moment. But we'll change that lead once again for the 5th time as Daniel Jensen goes back to the point. We talked about him last week. We're going to talk about him again. Love to see this car out there. Let's jump in. Can we get a little closer? Take a look at that Kool-Aid car, the 28 of Brian Tardowski. Look at a breakthrough here tonight like Big Red. Breaking through that wall. He's going to look for victory lane for the first time this season. The DuPont Superman Chevy Impala right behind him. Andrew Alt looking to have a fine finish as well. Derek Moore looking for victory lane for the 2nd time this season. Where's your 2-time race winner? Well, he's back right here inside of that sponsorless number 45 machine. Christian Abate runs in 14th. So as drivers continue this long green flag run, we're going to jump around a little bit, and we've got 3 wide for the first time. 3 wide for the first time at the front of the field. Clark Jenikin down at the bottom, still trying to help out that 4. And I believe that's going to be Nicholas Wing in the 99. Yes, it is the Subway 99 of Nicholas Wing. Eyeballing a 3 wide opportunity here. Lots of room here at Talladega. It can definitely be done, but he's going to need some help. Solo on the high side for Wing. I think the big benefit right now for that 99 National Guard Subway machine of Nicholas Wing is just how upset the handling is for these cars coming out of these corner ranks. As you can see in last time around, a little bit of a wiggle from that 811 Celsius energy drink from of Alex Wiggins. Wiggins a little bit loose. That forced Cody Schultz to jump out of the gas just briefly, but it was just enough for Wing to make some headway. Looks like Tarnowski may be willing to go up there and run with the 99. No, he isn't. He's going to stay in line. Big move off of turn number 2. And there it is, with nobody coming to his aid. The run going to stall on the high side for Nicholas Swing, and he's going to drop back in, settle for a spot just inside of the top 15. He's going to drop all the way back to 12th for the time being, but Derek Moore right there with him, so previous race winners in the neighborhood. And Wing not giving up. He dropped to the tail end of that outside lane, but just for a brief moment. Now trying his hand once again, moving to the front, and 3 wide for the race lead into turn 3. 3 wide for the race lead, a little bit of a wiggle by the PPG paints, number 39 of Overstreet in the middle. No help to the high side, mid lane has a handful of drivers, but the momentum, the numbers are on the bottom, and Daniel Jensen will keep the race lead for the time being. Your David Spears design pole award winner continues to lead and stay out front. Fastest lap of the race being turned in last time around. That's going to go to Dante Howard, 48.84. Driver's going to enter turn number 3, still side by side. For one row here tonight, as Nicholas Wing still trying to get the job done solo out there. As we've already mentioned, it's going to be a hard, tough task for him to get the job done, but he's going to keep on trying. There's one thing about the drivers here with the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series, that there is no give up. There is no tap out. There's no, okay, I'll just let it happen. These guys are going to go at it lap after lap all race long. Still side by side for your top 10 positions in the field as we head down the back stretch. Back down the back stretch into turn number 3, back to the front of this field. Daniel Jensen continuing to lead. Clark Jenigan right behind him. There's that 404 of Dave Gage. Gage needing a good finish. He's had a little bit of a rough start to this season. And I know we're only on to race 5. But Gage missing a week, unable to get to the track, having 2 subpar finishes is how we're worded. For his liking, for his caliber. We're just going to put it out there like that. Maybe we can light a fire under Special Dave. We'll see if he has any special sauce for the field. Here tonight, Cody Schultz, and I've had enough of running in the middle. I'm going to the high side, and he's going to push Wing right on by. Wing going to say, thank you very much, abandon ship, and he's going to drop down the elevator all the way to the inside lane. New race leader at the front of this field, the National Card, 99 of Nicholas Wing. Takes over control at the front of the field across the line. We'll make it official. 24 of Alan Bledsoe going to come to the 8 of the 5. Michael Overstreet says, you know what? You wanted to block? I'm going to go ahead and make a move. He's going to jump to the high side, drop right back down in front of that middle lane, and now 2 drivers remain on the high side. Cody Schultz in the 24 of Alan Bledsoe. The Bledsoe, one of our rookies here, making a big move in that DuPont number 24 machine. A little bit of an iconic look on that ride here tonight. But it does seem that that inside lane is where you want to be. The Knight of Riley, who's going to try his hand. He's going to move from the bottom of the racetrack. Fourth car in line to take over the second spot in that mid-pack. We are 3 wide, 2 rows deep at the front of this field. Three wide at the front of the field still, as we've got a lot of movement here. Michael Overstreet going to drop down in front of Daniel Jensen. Cody Schultz says, yep, I'll take that. He's going to pick up the pieces and grab the top spot now. 2, 3 wide once again. Nicholas Swing going to get left high and dry. 2 rookies going to stack up on the high side now. The 9 and the 24 going to run nose to 10. All the rookies will work together. You would see a lot of movement out of these cars. The dirty air definitely affects the handling. And oh, Michael Overstreet. Overstreet says, you know what? I think I've had enough. We've got a long way to go. And I'm going to the back. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to try to get myself outside of harm's way. He's had enough. Overstreet trying to rejoin the track, but from the apron, he's going to have himself a handful getting back. The end line going to lose a ton of spots, go from virtually the top 3 all the way back to 22nd. New race leader at the front of the field, and the rookies get it done. The Aaron's Rental Service Machine of Riley Hoots going to control that inside lane at the top spot, but here comes a run from Cody Schultz on the high side. Just to his outside, Nicholas Swing, still 3 wide, trying to make some moves. Long green flag run to open up tonight's Talladega Tango for the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. And when will we start to see drivers eyeballing pit lane, right? That's going to be our big question. We got a long string of drivers down on the inside lane, handful of them stacked up in that middle lane. It'll leave one to the high side. So the organization, the numbers in favor of the low line. We'll see if that holds true here as we begin to enter that realm of green flag pit stops. Drivers, I believe, are going to be able to make it right about 30, 31 laps, and that's going to put them right in that fuel window to possibly make it on a 3-stop night here tonight. Less than 10 laps away from a third of the way through tonight's race, we stay green flag racing heading into turn 1. Whew. Ain't much better than speed at Talladega Super Speedway. Driver's gonna head out of turn number 2, back down the back stretch, and into 3 once again. Stacked up 2 wide, 4 rows deep. It looks like Nicholas Wing, he's found a hole down on the bottom of the racetrack. The attempts to get to the front by running that third lane all alone. Sure, that's not going to be the last time we see him jump to the outside, but possibly on the moment preparing for green flag pit stops. A lot of drivers dropping down to the bottom. It's going to happen here. I would say in the next 5 to 7 laps, we should see drivers to pit lane. Lap number 25 gonna go on the board here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. We are clicking them off on quite a fast pace here tonight. More drivers abandoning ship, and the numbers on the high side gonna get a little scarce. Just as we say that, Cody Schultz gonna drop from that high side, leave us with just 2 drivers on that outside lane. 29 of Andrew Walton. I do believe that's going to be Dante Howard in the 90 right behind him. Looking for space, looking for a way to the bottom. Green flag pit stops just around the corner. Interesting enough though, entire field, well, almost the entire field, single file, bottom of the racetrack, clicking off laps. Fastest lap of the race going to be turned in now by the 91 of Patrick Coro, all the way outside of your top 20, so the speed is still there. Field spread out, almost 4-second difference between your front runner, Riley Hoots, and Michael Overstreet. Overstreet, fault from that outside lane on the initial start of the race, led 2 laps here tonight, was up there mixing it up, possibly seen something he didn't like or something he didn't feel. He dropped to the bottom on the backstretch, down on the apron, gave up all of the positions, running shotgun Sally down tail end of the field. Gonna have to be careful he doesn't lose the draft. You got a handful of drivers here in the back that are flirting with the possibility of losing that draft. Let's go right here with the 91 of Patrick Coro, the 38 of Zach Miller, and Michael Overstreet. All right there, 21, 22, and 23 on the scoring charts. Trying to run back down that 7 of Ed Hauck, but for the moment, Hauck has almost a 1-second advantage. These 3 guys in the back have got to be careful. They have got to find a way to reel back in that lead pack. You don't want to get behind the 8 ball, not win. It's got the look and it's got the feel of a long green flag race here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the Talladega Tango for the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. Race number 5 well and underway. Rookies at the front. Riley Hoots leads Alan Bledsoe, Brian Turnowski, Andrew Alt, Cody Schultz, and Dante Howard going to switch and swap that final spot inside of the top 5 as the 29 making some headway on the high side. Look at the tandem on the top of the racetrack making some moves. High speed, high stakes, high adrenaline action here tonight for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. 29 laps of green flag racing here from Talladega Super Speedway. We've got comers, we've got goers, we've got debuts and rookies, and they are showing the way here tonight at Talladega. Talk about making a name for yourself in a major way. Quickly making moves to work their way up through this field. Hoots up 9 positions, Bledsoe up 7. So from row number 5 in the 9th and 10th position here tonight to 1st and 2nd on the track, when will the rookies bring the field to pit road for the first round of green flag pit stops? I would expect to see that here in just a handful of laps, but for the moment, Hoots continues to pile on those laps left. For the moment, we're seeing a big trend right now. As these drivers continue on this long green flag run, every handful of laps, the times get quicker and quicker. Derek Moore gonna take back over that fastest lap award for the moment. There's the green flag pit stops. Drivers to pit road this time by. Cody Schultz, Nicholas Swing, Daniel Jensen, all to pit lane this time around. That's going to open up some gaps on the bottom of the racetrack. But as we were saying, the number 16 of Derek Moore going to grab the fastest lap, led once again a 48-25. We couldn't expect to see speeds and times over that 200-mile-an-hour mark in sub to 48 seconds. Will anybody be able to pop down to the 47s? I think we're going to see it tonight. We'll have to wait to see how long it lasts. Green flag pit stops well underway now. Who's going to come this time by? Tarnowski, Howard, Alt, Ramos, Argabrelli, Hauck, Cora, Overstreet, all to pit lane this time by, so a much bigger group to pit road. That's going to leave us with 12 drivers out on track in this lead pack. A little bit of separation there. You can see behind the rookies to that 27 of Clark Janikin, and I would assume that's going to be that's more than likely going to be a methodical move by Janikin. He's got teammate Dave Gage right behind him. Gage looking to have a good finish here tonight. And the two rookies. Whoa, that's going to get close on the binders. A lot of smoke, and oh no. We've got a handful of drivers looking a little fast coming to pit road. The 38 of Zach Miller a little sideways coming down pit road. A third group of drivers to pit lane may not have been as clean, and it may cost them in the end. Watching the field here as Dave Gage has a win around. Clark Janikin grabbed the top spot. Yet another new race leader here from Talladega Super Speedway, and here it is. Your final 7 drivers to pit lane this time by, and Dave Gage super quick. Did he get it wound up? Man, that's going to be close. Let's go back, take a look once again. Here you can see Alan Bledsoe, Riley Hoots getting themselves back onto the track and up to speed. A little bit of change in that running order, though. Bledsoe going to take the top spot now as Hoots drops back behind. And we've got at least one pit road penalty so far here tonight. Looks like rookie debut racer here tonight, Brandon Bethia, going to get called out with a pit road speeding penalty. He's going to have a long stay in the box and on pit road. The one listed now in 22nd. Coming up to speed out of turn number 2, getting back to the backstretch does Dave Gage. And Clark Janikin have enough speed built to keep the drivers behind them. The 11 of Alex Wiggins right here in tow. It's a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field. Alan Bledsoe and Riley Hoots right behind them. The 2-car tango still, or tandem I should say, here in the Talladega tango. There they are. They're reeling in those top 3. And they're going to catch them with a head full of steam and head right to the high side. Looking to utilize the run in that trap. Will the 24 get the job done? Dave Gage going to stick to that inside lane. Nobody tries for a late block, and we'll go side by side down the back stretch, but easy work. 4. Your two rookies, they're going to go back to the front of the field once again. New race leader Alan Bledsoe takes the top spot for the first time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. The 7 of Ed Hauck with some troubles here tonight as Clark Janikin behind his teammate. You can see Dave Gage, a little bit of Magic Man moments here. Now you see him, now you don't in the virtual world. Here on the world's #1 racing simulator, iRacing.com. Sometimes connection issues can cause some problems. We'll see if the chaos stays away or if the carnage will happen here in this second. Green flag run. Looking to the high side is your pole sitter Daniel Jensen. He's going to grab the top spot. Will he get it across the line? Yes, he will. Daniel Jensen back to the lead. Jensen going to drop from the high lane down to the bottom of the racetrack, take control of that inside lane. Cody Schultz going to say thanks for the push. Nicholas Wing, my gosh! Woo, that was close. Nicholas Wing right across the nose of that Ford. There was just enough room to pull that move. Man, a second sooner, and there would have been contact, and there would have been a lot of trouble. For the first time here tonight, the 41 Hulse Automation Monster Energy number 41 of Doug Argabright. Looking at a top 5 position. Second car outside lane as Gage continues to have those connection problems. Bottom of the racetrack. I wonder if that's affecting that speed of that inside lane. You don't want to get too close, because if he disappears and comes back and you're all over his rear bumper, there could be big problems. So it started off as a pretty even race here, has now seen two distinct packs develop. Patrick Coro leading that second pack back in the 18th position over 7 seconds behind. Coro leads Ramos and Michael Overstreet. Zach Miller with trouble coming to pit road. He's lost all of his help. He's solo on the track here, but multiple miles an hour down. He's going to get picked up pretty quickly by the drivers at the front of the field. Look for Miller to join Mathia off of the lead lap as Ed Hauck has to bring his number 7 machine back to pit lane. And there it is, drivers going around that 404 of Dave Gage, the 89 3G. Heads to the top of the racetrack right behind the 9 of Riley Hoots. That's going to be, I do believe that's going to be the 89 of Jeffrey Engel. Meanwhile, front of the field, Dante Howard looks to lead the lap. He's going to do so across the line. Yet another new race leader here in the Talladega Tango for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. While we find ourselves in the midst of this long green flag run, I want to use this opportunity. I want to take this chance to give a big shout out to all of the series sponsors here making things happen. a week in, week out. Big shout out to title and series sponsor Hauck Designs. If you're in the market for a new look on your race car, doesn't matter what you drive, the painters over at Hauck Designs can be sure to hook you up with a fine looking ride. They can help you out in the driver's suit area as well as helmet and pit crews. Check them out at Hauck Designs. As always, Butt Kicker coming back on board, sponsoring a few things throughout this season with the ASMR Hauck Design series. So again, a big shout out to Butt Kicker. Their haptic transducers will put every bump, every wisp of the wind in your seat. Butt Kicker, the future is feeling. Feel what you've been missing. We're going to continue with the sponsor shout-outs. Big shout-out to the best beef jerky in the land, Beef Jerky Unlimited. You can find all of their great products over at beefjerkyunlimited.com. Use turn 5 for your 15% discount code. Doesn't matter what flavor you're looking for, they've got something for every palate, from sweet to heat. They've got it all, not just beef jerky. They've got chicken jerky, turkey jerky, and the new Manganero pork jerky. And if you haven't tried pork jerky, it's the perfect opportunity, right? I mean, absolute perfect opportunity. Some great stuff coming out of beefjerkyunlimited.com. So go check them out. Once again, that's beefjerkyunlimited.com. Big shout out to Amber and Brian Hill over there at Mountain Mafia Kennels, Western North Carolina's best American bully breeders. If you're in the market for a new pup, they've got the beast for you. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter, or maybe it's referred to as X now, not sure, but either way, you can find them over there as well. Championship Bloodlines. Couldn't be happier with my very own bully. He's only 2 years old and he is well over the 100-pound mark. Just an absolute sweetheart of a dog. If you're looking for the best bully around, look to Mountain Mafia Kennels. Continue to watch this run here at the front. Driver's going to stay side by side for your top 10. Make that 12 positions on the track. 5 cars lined up on the outside lane. Majority of the field on the bottom. We would expect to see drivers to pit road somewhere around lap 64. So we're about 15, 18 laps away from our second round of green flag pit stops. This race is going by in a hurry. Final shout out of the night. We want to give a big shout out to all of the admins and staff team over there at AdaWork RP over on the 5M side of things. If you're one of those Grand Theft Auto players, you like GTA, and you like to have some fun, you can head on over to 5M, check them out. It's AdaWork RP. So, we paid some bills, we paid the sponsors, and now it's all left to the drivers on track. They continue this long green flag run, 47 laps behind us as we cross the line. This time around lap number 48, we'll go on that scoring pylon. Still looking at the front of the field, the 90th, Dante Howard leads yet another lap. Something interesting we're watching though. Howard not dropping to that inside lane. We've watched driver after driver get to the front and immediately drop from that high lane down to the bottom. Howard comfortable running that mid lane, the high side for the moment. No 3 wide racing at this point in time. maybe just the way the car feels, right? These Gen 4 machines, much different from what we're used to seeing out here out of the Cup cars. These Gen 4 machines got, I don't want to say, all right, let's back up, all right? Not saying that the cars now are easy to drive, but they are much easier to drive in the handling department than these Gen 4 machines. So maybe that high side just kind of fits these cars a little better, as we talked about them not dropping from the high side to the low lane. Dante Hauer gonna leave his help on the high side and now drop to the bottom. Whoa, big wiggle there from the 41. Little bit of a bump coming out of turn number 4. The 5 to the into the bumper of the 41 gets him a little out of shape, and that's going to let the high side slingshot their way by. There's that familiar drop down. Right, Andrew Alt shot out to the race lead. He's going to drop down to the bottom. Now the Kool-Aid, number 28 of Brian Tarnowski, leads that high lane with only 2 drivers in tow. 3 against about 15. And the high side somehow finding a way to keep it going, making it work. Big Red and that Kool-Aid 28 machine. Tarnowski getting the job done. Tell you what, let's go. Do we got the onboard guys? Tell me we've got him in there. Let's take a look. There he is inside. The 29 machine is Andrew Alt, piloting the AC Delco Superman. Chevy Impala. Andrew Alt sitting at 3rd. Going to take a look at race leader Brian Tarnowski. Handful of onboard cameras here tonight. Dave Gage sporting one of our onboard cameras here tonight. You can check out that great shifter panel right there. Check out that thing. Looking good behind the wheel. You see how we continue to go, and we'll jump around the racetrack just a little bit more here tonight, trying to bring you as much of the action as we can. So as we cross the start-finish line, once again, lap number 52 will go on the board. The driver's going to head back into turn number 1. Drivers through 1 and 2. Alan Bledsoe, the rookie, back to the point on the high side. Tarnowski still leading that inside lane. And we're watching these rookies work together. Hoots and Bledsoe, almost inseparable. Peak Racing mentality machine of Clark Janikin right there, running in 3rd, 4th position. Now the rookie's going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack, and that's going to leave Janikin to high and dry. Help behind him, but over a car length off. The 11 Celsius energy drink machine, followed by the 404 of Dave Gage, and Janikin will lose a little bit of ground. After last week's race-winning performance at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Janikin feeling himself, trying to get back to his winning ways. And he's going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack for a moment, way to pick up the run on the high side, looking to make a move out of 4. Not going to go to the high side, he's going to stay to the inside lane for now. Well over the halfway point here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway in the Talladega Tango for the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. Alan Bledsoe and Riley Hoots, the rookies in the field here tonight, having a fine debut race. We're going to check in Where's our other rookie? A little bit further in the running order. Trouble coming to pit lane. Up with a pit road penalty. Brandon Bethea in the one gonna stay in that 22nd position. And losing ground, losing time, lap after lap, is Zach Miller. He's going to need a caution. He's going to need some help here. You know, we're not going... We're not intentionally trying to jinx it. We're not intentionally trying to bring that broadcaster's curse out, right? But it's Talladega. It's plate racing. Fast times. Big moments. And we typically will see at least one caution at these restrictor plate races. Will it come to the end? Will the victims be able to rejoin the race? Still a lot of laps remaining. Just under 40 laps to go here tonight. So still a long way to work your way into position, but a long way to suffer with a damaged machine. We'll see how Mathia goes about it, and Hauck, he's going to need a ton of help to get himself back on the lead lap, as you can see right there. I believe that is going to be the 38. Yes, it is. That's Zach Miller. He's going to be the latest driver. But a one lap down as our 23 car field has 23 drivers still out on track, but only 20 left on the lead lap. Zach Miller now going to move into that lucky dog position, but I think it's going to be short-lived. Patrick Cora, almost a half a track behind your race leaders. Ramos, Overstreet, Coro, safely running in the field, but they are well behind your race leaders. You can see it right here. Joined by that one of Brandon Bethea, so it's a four-car pack back at the tail end of the field. And losing ground here. Over 17 seconds behind your lead pack. They are going to need a caution to try to make up that much time. I don't see how, no matter how organized you are, I just don't see how four cars are going to run down a field of 17. I could be wrong. They could prove me wrong. For racing hopes' sake, let's say they can. I'd like to see it, and well, we're going to see if that unfolds. Here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. Meanwhile, back at the front, still out front, your rookies. Behind the wheel of the 24 and the 9, Alan Bledsoe leads Riley Hoots. Cody Schultz trying to get something working on the high side. Tornowski has left him high and dry all alone. The Aaron's machine looks to the high side. Not going to make the move. He'll stay in second. Not a very busy night here tonight for the boss man in the flag stand or our good buddy driving the pace car here tonight. Joshua Norwood back behind the pace car here tonight, pulling duties for us. We appreciate Josh coming up from southern Alabama to watching her to enjoy some great racing action here from Talladega Superspeedway. Fans in the stands getting their money's worth. A lot of lead changes, a handful of different leaders here tonight, and the rookies have brought a fan base, and they are pleasing them for the time being. An amazing job here. A lot of times we see rookies enter these super speedway races and kind of hang in the back, right? They don't want to be that guy. They don't want to be that driver that causes the first problem or causes the big problem. A little bit different thought process, a little bit different look from this DuPont number 24 and the Aaron's number 9. If you're out front, you can't cause the problem, right? Or at least that's the theory. That's the theory here on iRacing. That's the theory in the real world with the NASCAR drivers. A mixture of feelings when it comes to super speedway racing. A handful of drivers really love it. A handful of drivers despise it. And a handful could care less where they're racing just as long as they are racing. But the strategy's very different. A handful of teams and drivers believe, if I can stay out front, the problem when it happened is it's probably going to be behind me unless I cause the problem. And thinking that way here right now, Alan Bledsoe continues to lead out of 4 through the triangle. We'll cross the line this time around with lap number 63 on the board. So here's the question. Okay, for all the crew chiefs out there with gearheads, the first green flag run, we see pit stops 31 laps into the run, all the way to 34 laps into the run. Look at that lap count right now. We are under 35 laps remaining here. Just about 32 if you want to get down to it. The fuel window to make it to the end, it's open. Who will come to pit road first? Will the short pit work or will the long run be the prevailing strategy here tonight? Single file all the way through your top 17 green flag pit stops right around the corner. So what do you do here? Right? Do you back up a little bit? Daniel Jensen running in that 6th position. Your pole sitter here tonight has a little bit of a gap. He can almost wait, and there it is. Drivers in front of him. Gonna pull the pit lane. He's gonna join them. Nicholas Wing, Cody Schultz, Daniel Jensen, and Andrew Walt joined with Doug on the line. All on the pit road, so 5 drivers around the pit lane on lap number 65. Bledsoe gonna stay out. Big gap now. Back to that 11 of Alex Wiggins. 3 cars out front, then a 4-car pack. I'm telling you, this is... could we see it? Right, we've seen other races when this ASMR group of drivers go flag to flag. Will we see it tonight at the super speedway? That's the big question. Nice entry to pit road, a little bit of a lockup at the end there to deny get down to speed. New race leader once again, the 11 of Alex Wiggins going to take over the top spot for the time being now. Checking the drivers that were just down pit lane on lap number 64. No pit stop penalties. Bledsoe, Hoots, Howard, Tarnowski all make their way off of pit road. No pit stops for those 4 drivers. Michael Overstreet into his box. Patrick Coro into his pit box as well. Wiggins continues to lead. Dave Gage, Clark Janikin Derek Moore and Jeffrey Engel rounding out your top 5. Alton Arga Bright trying to get back up to speed. Race leader Wiggins gonna go around, put them one lap down. This is something we haven't seen, is drivers fall off the lead lap during a green flag pit cycle. We're starting to see it now. This is gonna put a handful of drivers in a precarious situation. They're gonna have to leave that bottom lane. And will that cause them to lose drafting partners? Daniel Jensen now leads Cody Schultz in the 99 of Nicholas Wing. They're fighting to keep themselves on the lead lap, but I think it's going to be a short win fight. Much faster on the high side with a handful of steam. The 11 going to clear. Dave Gage going to clear as well. Clark Janikin going to have to settle to fall in line. Gage is going to get stuck on the high side. Dave Gage stuck on the high side and will be. Whoa, and there's trouble. Gage trying to come to pit road. Going to get into the door. Oh, and Gage misses his entry. Looks like Clark Janik going to get a blue pit road entry as well. 2 drivers in the front of the field with problems to pit road. Derek Moore, Jake Innes, Christian Abate, and Andrew McConville to pit lane as well. Big trouble now for a handful of drivers, and this will indeed change the dynamics at the front of the field. Alan Bledsoe and Riley Hoots gonna blast their way past the 3Chi 89 machine of Jeffrey Engel. Leave him in the wayside over a 2-second gap back now as Engel all alone. It is back up to speed. Abante Moore, McConville off of pit road. Your top 4 right there trying to work together. See if they can somehow stop the run by the rookies as they make their way off of turn 2 and back up to speed on the back stretch. It's going to be a short-lived battle here, blasting right by them. On that high side now, can they do it? No fight, no match for the speed already built behind the machines on the high side, and look at those 2 step out. It's a tandem race at the front. We'll begin lap number 70 this time by as we've got 25 to go this time by. So have we seen it? For the first time this season, will we see flag to flag racing action? We have been clean and green for 70 laps so far here tonight. Will the final 25 remain caution-free? Big run now by that Davey number 25 of Jake Innes. He's got good company behind him. Christian Abate, Derek Moore are right there. 2 previous race winners trying to push Innes around. Jake, one of those fast drivers with multiple pole positions so far this season. And he's going to take the top spot. Top 3 going to make their way around, waiting to see if that 10 of McConville can clear. Not just yet. Ooh, and McConville going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to stick the 16 to the high side. Derek Moore unable to get to the bottom of the racetrack, and he's going to get shuffled out with 24 to go. Halfway down the back stretch, the race is on for your checkered flag. Few pit stops to complete tonight's race. Everybody in the field going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. They're going to have themselves quite a bit of extra fuel in the tank, so No need to save. It's all about pressing that loud pedal right now, and who's going to drop the hammer and put themselves in a position to win tonight's Talladega Tango. There you can see once again the National Guard, the subway machine, looking to the high side. We've watched Nicholas Wing attempt that 3-wide move early here tonight. And with him working on that 3-wide move early here, he knows how it feels. He knows what he needs. Tarnowski looked to make a little bit of a block. Wing says, no, you don't. He'll pick up a position and continue to look to the high side. Pole sitter Daniel Jensen gonna look to, oh, that was close. Gonna look to try to run him down to give him a little bit of help on that outside lane. 2, 3 wide. Cody Schultz says, I'm going to the top. 3 wide, 3 rows deep, heading into turn 3. It's the triple. For the first time here tonight, we've been able to pull the triple at Talladega Superspeedway. 3 wide, 3 rows deep into turn number 3. It doesn't get much better than that, or at least for me it doesn't. Cody Schultz going to take his ADS number 5 machine to the front of the field, looking, trying to find which lane he wants to stay in. Daniel Jensen, big wiggle out of the tail end of that number 4 machine. He's going to corral the car, keep it in line, looking 4 wide for a moment. On banner of it, we'll go 3 wide once again for 3rd, 4th, 5th. Gonna take, I tell you what, let's jump on board. Do we got an onboard camera shot, guys? Let's jump on board, taking a look back. Off the tail end of Cody Schultz, he was in the race lead moments ago. Now sitting back in fourth, Jake Ennis to his inside. Look at the hungry pack of drivers behind him there. You can see 20 and Brian Chernowski inside row. Looks to be the 4th car on that inside lane as the high side starting to fight back. Gonna take a look at the onboard camera shot here with Doug Argabright. The Haas Automation Monster Energy 41 sits in the 7th position. Looks to the high side for a moment. Thinks better around it. Drops right down to the bottom. We've got less than 20 to go. This time by just 19 laps remain here in the Talladega Tango. On board riding with the rookie Riley Hoots as he went from the front of the field all the way back now to 10th. Still just a half a second back, but back at the 10th. Now make that 11th position, losing a little bit of ground. In the late going here tonight, Derek Moore, previous race winner, looking to pick up win number 2. Man right behind him, hungry for his first. Checkered flag behind the wheel of that Navy. Number 25 machine, Jake Ennis going to look for the race lead. Cody Schultz fired out of a cannon with the 90 of Dante Hauer right behind. We're going to be honest with you, race fans, we've lost track. Just, if there's one thing you can guarantee, that's Dave of the Cave's always going to shoot it to you straight. I've lost track of how many lead changes we've had. It's been so frequent here tonight from Talladega that we've just lost count. 7 different race leaders, and we've got that down pat, but lead changes here, 2 to 3 lead changes a lap. We're upwards of 15, 20 lead changes so far in tonight's 94 lap event. 17 laps remaining. We are definitely watching that storm brew. Have you ever we're going to compare it for you. Have you ever been staying at the beach somewhere, whether it's over on the west side of the country over there looking out in the Pacific, or maybe the Atlantic Ocean? How about down there in the Gulf of Mexico, where you're just, you got a nice, beautiful sunny day going on, but you look out there in the distance across the ocean and you just see this dark cloud, and you know it's a storm, and you know it's heading your way. You just kind of watch it get darker, bigger, and closer, and closer. The families out there in the mid-plains of the United States, you know what I'm talking about as well. You kind of just out there in the afternoon, you could see that storm beginning to develop and get bigger and darker. You could feel the wind beginning to slowly pick up. That is what we are witnessing right now. There's a storm brewing on track. I'm not sure we're going to make it through this thing clean and green. But there again, the weatherman's wrong almost every day. But we may be wrong here tonight, and that's all I'm saying. But I would expect to see drivers drop back in line, regather, regroup, get some communication between themselves and fellow spotters, and try to make a run for the top spot at the end. Derek Moore showing the way, closing in on the back end of the 97 of Carlos Ramos. Ramos going to lose a lap. Now next on the list is going to be Alex Wiggins and Dave Gage. 38 of Zach Miller, already listed 1 lap down, fighting for everything it's worth to stay just 1 lap down. And we mentioned this. We mentioned it earlier. Dave Gage just hasn't quite had those finishes we're so used to seeing out of that 404. Trouble coming to pit road, blowing the pit road entry. In trouble. Finds Gage once again. 404 of Gage going to now be listed as the first driver, a 1 lap down, sitting in that lucky ball position. I don't want to say he's hoping for a caution, but desperate need of a caution. Lined up side by side as we cross the line with just 13 laps to go. Lap machines first 3 on the inside lane. We've got lead lap cars stacked up behind him. Nicholas Swing says, I'm going back to where I've already been, and that's the high side. Looking 3 wide with the 5 of Cody Schultz in tow. Look for that outside lane to be the place to be. Oh, and there's the trouble. There's the trouble. We saw it brewing. I don't want to say we seen it coming. We did know it was gonna happen, but it indeed did. Trouble from pole sitter Daniel Jensen. He's gonna have issues. Looks like Cody Schultz gonna be involved in that number 5 machine. Let's go. Check the replay for the first time here at Talladega Superspeedway under caution with 12 laps to go. Let's go on board. There you can see the contact trouble in front of him. And oh my gosh, hard hit there for Daniel Jensen. Really nowhere to go, and Jensen's going to watch it happen in front of him and just get collected in it. Tough break. Let's take one more look at it here. Already after the problem, Cody Schultz hard into the outside wall and a big hit. So we'll jump back out front with race leader behind the pace car for the first time on track here. Joshua Norwood gonna bring the field to a crawl. That's gonna open up pit road, and that very well may save the day for the 404 of Dave Gage. Sitting at 17th, first driver, a 1 lap down. But what does that do for Alex Wiggins, Carlos Ramos? Will they stay out on track, receive a wave around? Will your race leaders come to pit road? If I'm any of these drivers inside of the top 10, I ain't coming for tires. I'm just not doing it. And they're going to prove me wrong. Nicholas Wing, Dante Howard, Michael Weaverstreet, Patrick Coro, all to pin road. This time around, that's going to leave your top 10 out on track with much older tires. Dave Gage going to get a free pass. The lucky dog, he's going to get himself back on the lead lap. That's going to leave us with 15 drivers on the lead lap. Could this be what Gage needed? Coming into the final few laps, we're going to restart this race with less than 10 to go. You know the saying, you know that old moniker, cautions breed cautions. We like to say not all the time, but when you're out of time, you get out of choices. And sometimes you gotta make moves that maybe you wouldn't have made with 25 laps to go, right? So as we would like to think this thing could finish under green flag conditions, I don't think this is the final time. I don't think this is the final caution. I don't believe drivers are going to intentionally do anything. But again, we're going to go back green flag racing with less than 10 laps to go. If you're going to do something, you don't got a lot of time to get it done. You gotta go. You gotta take the opportunity. If you hear the spotter say, we're clear, you gotta go. Don't wait for the word to finish. You've got to make the moves. You got to make those drops from the high side to the low lane. You got to be willing to jump 3 wide as soon as your spotter tells you. You got to be ready, willing to make those big blocks. You know, we don't like that B word very much, but at the end of the day, it's racing. It's what plate racing is about. It's not all about speed. It's about when you can make those methodical moves to slow the momentum that is built behind you. You got to be willing to risk it for the biscuit at this point in time. We're going to have 9 laps to go, less than 20 miles of racing action remain here from Talladega Superspeedway for the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. And for the moment, the odds of a new race winner have went up. You're gonna line up first, then third. You can see him right there, nose to tail, on that inside lane. 2 previous race winners will work together on the restart. But for how long? Hungry field, looking for victory lane. For the first time is Jay Guinness, Andrew McConville, Argerbright, Tarnowski, the rookies still running inside the top 10. Alan Bledsoe and Riley Hoots going to start back in row number 4 for this latest restart. Look for them to be a factor. Our good buddy Norwood going to take that iRacing pace car back down pit road. And we're going to get set to drop the hammer once again. Let's unleash the beast, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Talladega Superspeedway. Back on the gas, back up to speed. Moore gonna lead him across the line. Abbasi in tow. Big gap back from Ennis to that end of McConville. McConville going to drop down. McConville going to leave that high side. Argabright thought about going to the high side to help Ennis, as now the 25 drops in line. Single file through your top looks to be about 7, 8, 9 positions on the track. Just as we say that, Doug Argabright says, you know what? I'm not going to get a race win running 5th in line. He's going to jump to the high side right in front of rookie Alan Bledsoe, who has had no problem with looking for the race lead. He's led a handful of laps here tonight, trying to get back to the race lead before the end. Side by side for the race lead as we head to turn 1. Laps remain in the Talladega Tango. We're going to drop that timing scoring down to the left-hand side of your screen a little bit early here tonight. There it is, side by side, double file racing all through this field. And here comes a move again. Patrick Coro in that 91 machine. Ooh, it's getting dicey out there. There it is, driver jacked up on the high side. And there's our next caution. Big trouble for Dante Howard. He's going to get sent around. Caution flag flies once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. There you can see the 24 DuPont machine caught up involved in this one. Let's go back. Let's check the replay. There it is, just a move to the high side. A little bit of a late block to stop that momentum from that 24. Dante Howard going to get jacked up from behind and get sent around. Let's take one more look here. Tornowski going to catch a piece of this. Michael Overstreet involved. Howard involved. A handful of drivers got to get caught up in this one coming. Out of turn number 4, we'll take one more look at it. High above with the turn 3 drone cam. There's the contact. There's the drivers round 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers caught up and involved in this one. Heavy, significant, substantial damage for the driver behind the wheel of that number 39 machine. Michael Overstreet going to pick up quite a bit of damage, and we're going to head back to the front with your race leader. Derek Moore going to lead Christian Abati. And your 2 previous race winners will now control the inside and outside lane for our latest restart. Will anybody head to pit road? I don't think any of your race leaders going to head to pit road. So with that being said, we're going to utilize this opportunity and chance to take just a brief commercial break and head back trackside with all your green flag action. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from Talladega Super Speedway. We bring you back live trackside here from Talladega Super Speedway under caution for only the second time here tonight, high above the track with the turn 3 drone cam. We're going to get set for what could be the final start of the race. 2 previous race winners will bring us back to the green flag. Derek Moore going to lead that inside lane with Christian Abate just to his outside. Doug Argabright and Jake Ennis back in row 2, row number 3 for the restart here. Andrew McConville and Brian Tarnowski, Jeffrey Engel and Andrew Walt, row 4, rookie Riley Hoots. It is started inside row number 5 with a 404 of Dave Gage and a solid top 10 position for the moment. So here's the question. Is this the final caution flag? Have we seen the last of the carnage? Or will the junkyard expand? In these final few laps, we're going to find out in a moment. Business about to pick up here from Talladega Super Speedway. Our good buddy behind the pace car ducks off. We'll head to the restart zone and get set to drop the hammer once again in the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. And just like that, green flag flies once again here from Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to immediately drop that timing and scoring this time for you. Dave Gage still having those continued connection problems. Little bit of blinking action back there around that 10th position. Side by side is your top 4. 89 of Jeffrey Engel looking for that 6 Spartan, looking to get into the 3rd position inside lane, but the momentum to the high side. Christian Abate looking for win number 3. 3 wide with the 29, splitting them down the middle. Big push off of Jake Ennis to the back end of that 45 machine, and here he comes across the line. Christian Abate will lead this lap, and we're going to have just 3 to go. Well, Abate and Ennis drop to the inside lane. Before it's too late, Andrew McConville going to get covered up. Now here comes that momentum, 2-3 wide behind him. Where do you go? Which lane do you block? Big move from Michael Overstreet. Shot out of a cannon. With Nicholas Swing behind him, 3 wide as they make their way through the field. Big run. And that 3rd lane to the high side, we're going to be 3 wide for the race lead into turn 3 once again. 2 rows deep. Derek Moore brings himself back to the point on that inside lane. We're going to have popsicle sticks on display. This time around, just 2 laps to go here in the Talladega Tango. 2, 3 wide, 4, 5 rows deep. Oh boy, here we go to the end. This is what restrictor plate racing is about. This is what super speedway racing action draws you in for. This high stakes, high speed moments with it all on the line. 3 wide, at least 3 to 4 rows deep. This is big. And I tell you what, I think it may be too big for our own eyes. I think we're going to have ourselves a photo finish here. Coming across the start-finish line. There's the trouble, and caution. Caution flag flies as it's the big one. Tons of drivers involved in this. Ooh, big impact for Michael Overstreet down there. Ton of drivers involved in this one. Let's go quickly to the replay here. And that's going to be the wrong replay, guys. Can we go ahead and get this latest one queued up for us? A ton of drivers caught up in this one. Man, oh my goodness. Just as The boss man of the flag stand was reaching for that flag, and there it is. 2, 3, 4 drivers immediately caught up, and my gosh, I think everybody behind your race leader Christian Abate going to be caught up and involved in this. One more look at it here. Yeah, everybody. 2 drivers right there, fairly unscathed. That's going to be the 89 of Jeffrey Engel, the 41 of Doug Argerbright. They're going to give themselves a great opportunity to potentially win tonight's race after this late race trouble and problem. Well, we asked you, would it be the final caution? There's your answer right there. No. Jake Ennis, Michael Overstreet, Riley Hoops, Brian Tarnowski, Alan Bledsoe, Andrew Wald, Andrew McConville, Derek Moore, Patrick Coro, Dave Gage, Carlos Ramos, all involved in this one. Over 10 cars caught up and involved in this latest caution here. Right at the end of tonight's race, we're going to restack, re-rack, and rerun them. Another 2 laps to go, barring another caution flag. So now we're eyeballing the fuel mileage situation. Right, we've seen drivers make it 34, 35 laps on a tank of fuel. We are working our way around the track now on lap number 95. 1 lap past that official race distance. Drivers last to pit road. Your top 3 were last to pit road on lap 68, 64, and 67. Theoretically here, even Doug Argerbright, if you add those 34 laps to his, he should be able to go to lap 98. So we should be safe on the fuel. But should is a stretch of a word that drivers not too comfortable with. They like to be assured. Do we have enough? And how much we got left? Can we make it? You're hearing all of those things, or we're hearing all of those things over the spotters' radios right now. Christian Abate leading tonight's race, questioning, did we get enough fuel in this thing when we came to pit road last time? Are we going to make it? Biggest moment is going to be on this restart. You cannot have the engine stumble. You've got to know that when you press that loud pedal, you're going to get nothing but torque and horsepower, that you're not going to have a stumble with the fuel cell. I don't know. And how about the turnaround for this rookie, Brandon Bethea, for the majority of tonight's race? Off of the lead lap. Got himself back on the lead lap. Last time we seen the caution flag fly. Was able to navigate his way through the problems to bring out our 3rd caution. Now he finds himself lining up outside row, 2nd car back. My, how the tables have turned. Derek Moore just 2.5 miles away from potentially winning his 2nd race. Christian Abate 2.5 miles away from securing his 3rd win of the season. Moore now listed back in 15th. Abate's got hungry drivers surrounding him, looking for victory lane for the first time. What do you do about, and we're not calling him out, all right? I hope Brandon, when he goes back and watches tonight's broadcast, I hope he don't takes it as a personal thing here, but it's his first race. How many drivers trust to run with the rookie? We've seen two rookies dominate a vast portion of tonight's race, but Mathia was not one of those rookies. Will he get the help he needs if he jumps and makes a third lane? Will he get the push from behind? Will he be able to push that 41? We'll find out as green flag flies once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. Great start on that outside lane for Doug Argabright. He's going to inch forward into turn one, but the inside lane going to come fighting back. Dante Howard right there all over the tail end of that 89 of Jeffrey Engel, and here's that move to go 3 wide, the 39 of Michael Overstreet. He does not want to stay in line. He's going to quickly grab a position to drop right back, get a bit of a toe into turn 3, jump right back to the high side. The Kool-Aid 28 of Brian Ternowski, he's going to jump to the high side as well. 3 wide for third, fourth, and fifth. Off of turn number 4, we roll to the start, the finish line with the white flag in hand. White flag flies. Final lap here from Talladega Super Speedway. Doug Argabright out front with the one of Mathia right behind. Christian Abate trying to fight back on that low lane. He's going to walk up the track just a little bit, try to crowd that center lane, but that's only going to help the run for Michael Overstreet on that third lane. On the high side, shot out of a cannon. Big help from Janikin, and Tarnowski will Overstreet get the job done. He's going to take over the race lead on the entry of turn number 3, but here comes the move from right down to the bottom, and they are going to clear off of for big trouble behind. Oh my gosh, Jeffrey Engel up and around on his lid into the outside wall. 2-3 wide, Argabright dumped Mathia across the line, and the rookie wins in his debut. Oh my gosh. A lot going on, a lot to recap here. Let's go. Let's see if we can do it real quick here. We're going to watch this checkered flag flying. We're going to slow it down for you. There's the contact between Abate and that 41, and well and clear is Mathia, so there's going to be no controversy there. And the rookie will cross the line and walk away with his first race win of the season. My gosh, what an ending to tonight's race at Talladega Super Speedway. First time on track, visits victory lane, doesn't get much sweeter than that, and the one will finish in first. Christian Abate going to come home second, with Riley Hoots back in third. Rookies, the majority of your podium. As Mathia enjoys his post-race celebrations, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. back live trackside here from Talladega Super Speedway at the conclusion of tonight's Talladega Tango. A race that was pretty much caution-free all night long until right at the end of tonight's race, and then carnage chaos ensues, as can be expected here at these played racetracks. But still, fine finishes for a lot of drivers in the field, and we're going to jump right into our post-race interviews. Let's see if we can get the rookie this season re-emerging on the scene behind the wheel of that number 9 machine. Riley's Dave, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, man, had an opportunity to talk to you there just before we were coming back from the commercial breaks. We coined you as a rookie. You informed us, and as well as a couple other guys in the field here tonight, that not actually a rookie. That you're coming back to the scene here with the ASMR Hauck Designs crew. So how good does it feel to come back and in that first race out walk away with a solid podium?
I mean, first and foremost, I just want to say thanks to Ed and everybody that puts this thing on. I certainly miss being around racing with these guys. That was a fantastic race. That was a ton of fun. I thought we were going to go green all the way to the end there for a little while, but just awesome quality hard racing, and I definitely missed that with these guys. Me and Brendan and Alan all ran in here 1.5, 2 years ago when it was still in the truck, and we're happy to be back with these guys.
Well, man, we're happy to see you back out there on the track, and happy to see you with a lot of speed underneath the hood of these Gen 4 machines. Now, these cars handling a little bit different here tonight. So how much different is it jumping back in these old school? I call them old school. You know, your early mid '90s cars. How much different is it driving these cars to those newer Gen 7s?
Oh, it is so much different. Personally, I prefer these cars. I feel like they're just a little bit more of a handful. It's a lot more fun going over the bumps and feeling that in the car and feeling how the tires wear over the long run as opposed to the Gen 7. And you also can't really push in these cars. We were trying pretty hard there for a while on the long run, but you can't push quite as hard as you can in the Gen 6, and the runs are just so big.
Well, man, you proved to figure out a way to get the draft to work for yourself, as well as Allen in the 24. Unfortunate circumstances kept him away from a good finish, but you were out front for the majority of tonight's race. Inside of that top 3, you're going to walk away with the top 3. So before we let you go here tonight from Talladega, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, just want to thank Ed and everybody at ASMR that puts this thing on. It's great to be back. Thank you so much for the broadcast, Dave. I'm definitely going to go back and watch this one. That'll be fun. I also want to give a shout out to my fiance, Victoria. Wish she could be here at home. Excited to have you back on Friday. And of course, all my family and friends that tune in to watch me race anytime I'm on here as well. I've got a great support system, and man, I'm happy to be back in ASMR.
Well, man, we're happy to have you and happy to see you back into some great finishes. We look forward to picking up and having some more conversations throughout the course of the rest of the season. But until then, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, man.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away in third place here tonight. Re-emerging on the scene, he's going to be a rookie from our eyes here with the Turn 3 Racing Network, but Riley Hoots shows lots of skill, lots of patience, prowess, and gets a podium finish out of it here at the Talladega Tango. So with that being said, we're going to move right on along in our running order, and let's talk to a man that we've become accustomed to talking to over the course of last season as well as the beginning portions of this season. Didn't get that third win, but yet another podium finish here tonight. Christian, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good. A lot better than a lot of my other teammates.
Well, We're not gonna touch that one, man. We're gonna leave that one alone. um, it's Talladega, right? Craziness is gonna happen. We had a moment during the commercial break to catch in and have a few words with you. You said you just wanted to get a top five out of it. So walking away second, is it any sweeter, or is it just well, the cards kind of fell where they did, and we're just gonna take this and move on.
Yeah, I think it was just exactly that. Just luck fell my way tonight, and just gonna walk away with it, and that's just that. Got Daytona later in the season, same attitude there, just trying to survive and get a good result out of it. So, and I mean, between me and my teammates, we were up front in the top five and majority of the last third of the race there, and unfortunately, three of us didn't make it. So, just the way the cards fall.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a crapshoot, a roll of the dice, if you will, when you enter these super speedway races. But I want to talk about a high note, right? We had a huge portion of tonight's race ran under green flag conditions. Cautions didn't happen until right around the end of tonight's race. Were you? I don't want to say shocked, but how you feeling about looking towards Daytona, knowing that you guys put on such a long green flag run here at Dega?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, if obviously if we can do it for most of the race here, I think that just means we can do it at Daytona too. I mean, I think a lot of us coming out of that last green flag pit stop were feeling pretty good. And it was looking good, and then I think we just got checked up by a couple lap cars, so I think that's probably just one thing to note and say for the next race to see just to keep it in mind and how to deal with them there. But yeah.
Well, man, a pleasure to catch up with you in these post-race interviews. As always, you're making a habit of it this season already into victory lane two times. Going to pick up yet another podium here tonight. So before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Uh, Dave, just thank you for putting on the broadcast. It's always good having you do these. Thanks to ASMR for putting on these events. It's always good fun to come out every night with these guys. Big thanks to Ed Hawk for the paint scheme as well, and just thankful for teammates here at Red Mist Racing between myself, Jake Innes, Derek Moore, and Andy McConville.
Well, again, Christian, congratulations on this second place show, and I'm sure we're going to talk to you again throughout the course of the rest of the season. But until next time, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away second. Christian Abate going to walk away with yet another podium finish here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And that's going to lead us right to victory lane, re-emerging on scene and reappearing in victory lane behind the wheel of that number one machine, up 13 positions from where he qualified. Brendan, how good's it feel to get that checkered flag in your first race back?
Man, it feels great. Totally didn't expect it. Getting a speeding penalty on my first green flag stop, so almost went 2 laps down, and then just worked my way back, and then worked my way to the front.
Well, man, you brought it up, so we're gonna talk about it. We were gonna leave it alone, but you had to bring the skeleton out of the closet here. Not really familiar with you too much myself, so we're gonna ask how familiar are you with these Gen 4 cars? Did the braking zone come into pit road? Is that what caused the penalty, or what went down with that? And what changes the mindset, right? Because you fall a lap down, you almost got to put yourself in a different mindset until you get back on the lead lap. How were you able to keep your calm, your cool, your composure until you were able to get that lucky caution break and get yourself back in the mix?
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with these cars at all. If I'm being completely honest, I have like almost no experience in them. As far as keeping myself cool, I wasn't cool. I can guarantee you that. The guys that I was racing with, my teammates, I was like, this sucks. I just want to pull it off, but you just never quit, even when you're keep getting kicked down. You just never quit, and this is a perfect example why. So just worked my way back up. Thanks to Coro, Overstreet, and Ramos. I mean, just having their draft kind of saved me from going 2 laps down, and was able to kind of work with them till the caution came out. Beat Jenikin for the lucky dog, and then just got back and had amazing wreck avoidance there at the end. Put myself in a 4th place position on the restart and kind of just went for it.
Well, the perseverance pays off with the top spot here tonight, and that's what it's really all about. You know, when you're facing a ton of adversity, sometimes you just got to put your head down, get your elbows up, and say, you know what, the hell with it. We're gonna see how this thing works out, and well, it worked out in your favor here tonight. So, first race back with the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. One win in your back pocket now. Is there any races throughout the schedule that maybe you've already started to eyeball and circle as you know, this may be the next time I get to victory lane?
Yeah, there's a ton of races on my end right now. Chicagoland, maybe Daytona if I have the same luck. Nashville Super Speedway, Michigan, Texas, Vegas, Kansas. So I'm pretty good at the mile and a halves. I don't know if I have anything. Again, I'm not very experienced, and there's a lot of great talent here. Just grateful that to be back.
Well, man, we're glad to have you back and glad that one thing's turned around for you in tonight's race, giving you a little bit of confidence moving forward into next week. But before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the champagne spraying here in Victory Lane, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, you for broadcasting. I'm gonna definitely go back and watch it. So that's gonna be really fun to watch. Probably not the first 90 laps, but and then all my teammates, Riley, Allen, had Matthew. He's part of our team, not racing, but he was spawning there for me at the end. So Coro, Gage, all the admins, Hawk or Ed, for sponsoring. And just all the competitors out there. I mean, that was the cleanest super speedway race I've ever been a part of, so that was awesome.
Yeah, definitely clean race. And I mean, as could be expected at the end, you're going to get those moves and some possible carnage and chaos. We've seen a little bit of it here tonight, but all in all, a great race, clean racing between all of the drivers in the field. At the end of it, you're going to pick up that first race win. Congratulations. Hopefully, we get to talk to you multiple more times, whether it be in this top spot or in another podium position throughout this season. So, Brendan, with all of that being said, congratulations on your race win. Until we meet again, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Words from your race winner. Not really familiar with these Gen 4 machines. Could have fooled us here tonight. Was able to keep himself in a position to fight for the lucky dog. He got it right in time and utilized that to his advantage. Restarted 4th for the final restart. In a great run to the end, Brendan Mathia will take the top spot here tonight in the Talladega Tango. What a run, what a race here tonight for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. And again, these drivers never cease to disappoint. And there it is, producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down your unofficial race results in the Talladega Tango. Top of the board here tonight, walking away with the checkered flag behind the wheel of that number 1 machine, parking it in victory lane. Brendan Mathia will take that top spot. Christian Abate back in second. Great return and reemergence on the scene for Riley Hoots. The 9 will finish out your podium drivers. Dante Howard going to drive that number 90 machine home to 4th, 5th place tonight to Andrew Walt. Sliding home in 6th, the 4 of Daniel Jensen. Brian Tornelski back in 7th with Patrick Coro in 8th. 9th place tonight to the 89 3G. Machine of Jeffrey Engel. U.S. Navy number 25 of Jake Ennis going to come home in 10th with Michael Overstreet back in 11th. Alan Bledsoe in 12th. Derek Moore going to pull that 16 home in 13th. 14th tonight from Talladega Super Speedway belongs to Cody Schultz. 15th, Clark Jenikin. A little bit of race trouble coming up in road, and Jenikin will finish in 15th. Lieutenant Carlos Ramos going to park that 97 home in 16th tonight. Nicholas Wing back in 17th, 41. Haas Automation Monster Energy Machine of Doug Argabright back in 18th. 19th tonight from Talladega Super Speedway belongs to the 11 Celsius machine of Alex Wiggins. 30th of Zach Miller back in 20th. Andrew McConville 21st. Dave Gage in 22nd. With 23rd, going to the 7 of Ed Hauck. That's going to do it for your unofficial race results here in the Talladega Tango. We're going to get ready to cut off the lights and begin to roll up the cords, start looking towards next week. What a race, what a night. If you haven't already, please remember to do so. Join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show the drivers the love they deserve. Drop on that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many different sponsors, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So again, while we've got you, show these drivers the love and appreciation. Long green flag runs here from Talladega. Make sure you drop them that thumbs up. So with all that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.